Welcome, welcome, welcome to Vermilion Vitez, guys. It's been a while. I mean, we've been trying a couple of things left and right, but it seems that our connection has just been terrible, terrible, terrible. We tried everything. We even got ourselves a new host on Virginia. Like I'm Florida, Virginia, far, far away, right? So we were trying a couple of different things, and we got back to the same system. I guess that works, right, Ray?
Nah, it all does work. So we, as per usual, we need a disclaimer.
The informations that we are talking today are for educational purpose only, guys. We are here to educate you and to share our vision, okay, and what we think about. This is not legal, tax, or financial advice. If you are looking for legal, financial, or tax advice, please consult your attorney or your financial advisors. We are here as educators, as motivationers to you. Okay, everybody's going through some tough times. Everybody goes through something, and it's always good to hear a good word from others that also has been through some struggles. Me and Ray has been through some countless struggles, but we overcame it, right? That's what we're here for today. Raimundo Marquez, right there. Look at those headphones, stylish, stylish. Well, you got a little handkerchief. I like that handkerchief.
Do you hear the cheers?
No, I can't hear the cheers. My mic muffles. No, your mic will muffle too if it's too low. Will
Oh,
like compress.
I tried. How you guys doing on the chat on TikTok? We're also here live on TikTok as well. We have
Yes.
Instagram, X. We are also on YouTube and LinkedIn. For those who don't know, welcome Ashley. Welcome Gister. Welcome. Bradley, Christian. We have a couple people already on the live with us, and we want to just start with a Bible verse. We want to start with a Bible verse. Be Before I continue, right? We always want to put God ahead of everything that we do, right?
Amen.
Everything that we do and we put it in God's hands. We are men of God before we are anything. Before this is Vermilion Vitez, before this is anything that we created, we are men of God. Joshua 1:9 says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged. For the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go." Amen.
Amen to that, brother. That is a powerful verse. I love that verse. Actually, every single day I wake up, I try to remind myself of that verse and say it out loud. People don't know the power in words, that the power it possesses to change your life. Ah, that
Philippines 4:13. I can do all things through Christ who strengthened me.
I love that. I love that. You dropping some bombshells today. Whew.
So one of the few things, as much as we like to encourage people to take different ventures in their life and to improve their life, right? We also encourage people to look within themselves and have a connection with some sort, right? I, for one, don't discourage any religion. I am a Christian and I love Jews. I'm just gonna say as it is, right? I'm a Christian and I love Jews. I love the Jews, right? I love them. I love the Christians just as much, right? But for anybody who has their particular religion, it's great. It's great that you are connected with a higher being. Vinnie and I have studied a lot of different ancient scriptures and not just Christianity, but we've also got into the Kabbalion and the Hermetic laws as well. With that being said, I want to break down a couple of things real quick. When you get into a journey, you want to be like a child. You don't want to be as an adult. As an adult, you can be very hard headed. You can be like, why will that work? Why? How is that going to work? And not even knowing you are destroying the same seed that you have planted. You are putting oil on your soil, right? And I want you to break down the genesis of what it is to be curious. And what that word is discovery. We are going to break down a couple of distinctions in this podcast today. And one of them is discovery, right? What is discovery, Vinny?
Discovering new ideas, new life. You find something, right? Something that's already inside you that you discovered. Something that is lost and then found. Discovering new ideas, new opportunities, new approaches, new business opportunities, a new way of life, discovering a new way of life through Christ who strengthened us.
Discovery is the genesis of everything, right? When you discover something, it becomes brand new to you. It was an unknown that it's now known, right? You walk through life in this world and you discover that, oh, I want to change my health habits. That is a discovery for some people, as much as it is discovering who they can be in this life and how you fit in. Everybody has their own specific journey and everybody has their own specific role. Some people may not get into business, but be they may be healers. They may be prophets. They may be singers, right? I want that to set in a little bit because that is a very key thing in this life. We are not here to force anybody to do anything.
No,
We are just here to shed light on things that are already there and exist.
agreed,
And as we
agreed.
said in this podcast, none of these things can be done without God, without the mercy of God, without Him looking at you and realizing that everything can be done through Him. Everything. If you have food on your table, you have shelter, you have water, and your family's doing well, that is a blessing. That is a blessing. And be happy that the Lord has given that to you today because that is something that is amazing. There's so many people who are suffering, and we get the benefit to wake up every day and worry about these first world problems.
True, agreed. We have to thank our life and the blessings that He gave us to be where you are right now, right? A lot of things go
Mateo,
on everywhere,
yeah,
but you have to know that wherever you are, you could make a difference in your life and around the people you love, your community, your friends, your family. Do something that other people will remember you by, right?
yeah,
Leave a little piece of you throughout history. Something inside of other person's heart that they will remember you for, because that will live on forever, right? Stones are crumbled away, turned into sand, castles are destroyed, trees are ripped down, but your words, they stay and they stay forever. So make a difference and an impact on somebody's life.
Romans 8:28. And we know that in all things God works for the good of those who love him, who have called according to his purpose. Not your purpose, his purpose. What does that mean? What is a purpose without God in front of it? Nothing exists without him.
Nothing.
Nothing. And what principles do you live by?
You have to, yeah,
Because a person that has no principles is a person driving blindfolded. You don't know where you're going.
no. There's also that. Seek first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. Now, if you let the Lord our God be your king in your life, you will succeed because you're putting him first. You're assigning him authority over your life. You are choosing him, the all sovereign king, to look over your life. So make sure you do that every single morning, every single day, every single minute that you can. Be grateful for what you have. And if you're struggling, the only thing that you could do is keep going forward.
Going forward.
Push forward no matter what. That's what we need to do. Yes, take a moment to mourn, feel sad, share the experience with others. But passing on to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, a month, 2 months, 2 months, what are you doing with your life? You're staying stuck. Ask for guidance from divinity. Take control of your life. Don't let other people control it. Don't let you be influenced by anybody else but the divine power.
Everything that you want to accomplish can be done through God. Anything, anything. You want to be a good wife. You want to be a good husband. You want to be a good son. You want to be a good daughter. You want to be a good friend, a neighbor. It can be done through the Lord. And I want you to walk into this path of glorifying Him and giving up your identity and ego. You are attached to all these things in the world. People are attached to their name, they're attached to their job, they're attached to items, things of the world that do not serve you. They do not serve you, right? This is not something I got in one day, but I saw life as my example, and I saw when I gave everything up to God, everything went away. It felt like feathers. I could be whatever circumstance I'm in. I could be as close as to a volcano, but as long as I knew how I had God with me, I was going to be okay. I could be sweating in the steams and I could still see the glory and the grace of the Lord.
Preach, brother, preach.
Now, I want you to envision yourself and why it is that you are stressed, angry, and frustrated. It's because you are carrying all that weight and you have not yet declared yourself a man of God and given it up to Him. All sin can be wiped away with His grace, with His forgiveness.
True to that.
Who are you mad about? There was a story, Job. Job is a story. And there's a couple of things I want you to know is, and I'm going to fast forward this, but Job had everything. He had everything. Let's bring it into the modern day Job. I'm going to give you the modern day Job story.
Modern day Job.
The modern day Job, right? We
Everybody, there's
have,
today, everywhere there's a modern day Job. But go ahead.
yeah, today there's so many, well, we could say not in the way of how he glorified God as how he was a man of God. Not everybody glorified him in that way. He was an example of giving up himself and his identity, his worries and concerns, and gave it to the Lord.
True.
He was used as an example, right? Modern day Job had everything: multiple wives, multiple children, Lamborghinis. Modern day Job had it all.
I was like, wait, what?
No, we're talking about modern day Job, just for you
I
guys
got
to
it.
have a great picture, right?
I got it. I got
Modern
it.
day Job. I can't take away the fact that he had multiple wives in the past tense, but in the future tense, he would have had multiple wives still. He had multiple wives. And the devil was like, of course he loves you. He has everything. God was like, all right, take it. What does that mean to me? The Lord was like, take it. And did he take it all away? Everybody got sick. His wife died, and the mansions got burnt down. Took it all away, made Job sick to the point where he was like, Lord, why? He got pushed. He got pushed into a position where he finally asked some questions. And the Lord came down and was like, who are you to question me? Who are you to question me? He didn't give him any answers, but one thing he did tell him, he gave him answers for sure. Yes, he did give him answers, but not the ones that Job was looking for. Job was thinking about, Lord, why me? Why you? Why you? People die every day. There's famine every day. There's wars every day. It rains every day. A lion is eating a gazelle and you don't question it. The insects are living, the grass is growing, the trees are rising, and nature is taking its course. Everything is happening. And who is responsible for all this happening? The Lord Himself. The Lord Himself is responsible for everything. And you are responsible over your own life because He gave you free will.
True.
Oh, why did my grandma die? Why did this person die? Because it was time. There's nothing that you can do there. It's an everyday life happening. Yes, it hurts. Yes, it hurts. But with the grace of God, you can move forward, knowing that you still have to be strong for your children, knowing that you still have to be there for your family and friends. The story of Job was a unique one because even after Job questioned him, he never spoke ill of the Lord. Of course, he wanted answers, but those answers that he was looking for were too personal. He was thinking of himself. He was attached to his ego. Let go of your ego and your identity, and you will see all the fruits that the Lord has for you.
That story of Job is powerful. I was remembering here, I struggled reading that chapter. When I read that chapter of Job, and you mentioned it there perfectly. When I read the chapter of Job, I thought that he was actually complaining to the Lord and, talking bad about the Lord. And I was like, why is he complaining so much? So, and you just mentioned he never spoke ill of the Lord. He never spoke ill. But I wasn't seeing that at the time that I read it. I'm like, he's just complaining about the Lord. The Lord's like, why? And you mentioned it very well. There was a friend of mine, a preacher, who mentioned, and he said Job was just asking questions as to why him, why him, why me, why me, why not him? He had everything. That was a moment to trust his faith. However, we are allowed to question. We are allowed to, you know, not complain too much and talk ill of the Lord, never. But we are allowed to ask questions. Why is this happening? But you also
And
have to
the
take action.
and the Lord was like, "Hey, what do you mean? Why is this happening? This happens every day.
Hmm.
You're no exception. Some days are going to be rough. Some days are going to be hard. What is going to get you through those days? If you are a man of God and you give it up to Him and you have given up every fiber of identity and ego that you have and say, Here, Lord, please forgive me and give me your grace. If you pray to God, I forgot how it was said. It's like if you pray to God, if you was like, if you pray to God like if you were a starving man.
Like, what would you ask for? Is
I
that
don't know
the
if it
kind of
was
sense?
no. It was in the sense of no. If you pray to God as if you're an unselfish man and you ask for everyone else, if you ask the Lord to bless everyone else, you'll be the first one blessed. It's not for you to manipulate it. It's for you to recognize that when you're no when you're like, Lord, take care of them, I will be all right. Give them what they need, Lord. I will be okay.
Yeah, that is powerful right there. A lot of people have to say the prayer of gratitude. That is powerful.
You have to realize that God will bless the person that's the least unselfish.
Agreed. Agreed. Always be truthful to God. There's this little phrase that I'm going to share. It's I go around places and I leave this little phrase around everywhere I go because it's a reminder of how grateful you should be to God. However, you should say it if you are being truthful. You could say this little phrase. It goes like this: great things will happen to me today as long as I am truthful to God. Now, great things will happen to you if you are truthful to God. And you keep on repeating that little phrase because if you follow his footsteps and you remain truthful into following the commandments and following our Lord Jesus Christ, the kingdom of heaven will bless you. There's no doubt about that. It was like what Ray was mentioning. Bless other people. Don't just be egotistic and start just asking for things for yourself. Share. Try to help others. Try to grow.
Proverbs 16:11. Honest scales and balances belong to the Lord. All the weights in the bag are of his making.
Hmm. I agree. I agree. And with that comes also, what do you plan to do with your life? Right? There is something called, uh, uh, what's it called, Ray? Spiritual.
Enlightenment.
No, no. For those Christian businessmen, no, Christian businessmen, spiritual businessmen, how do we call it? What's the word I'm trying to think about?
Spiritual entrepreneurs.
Spiritual entrepreneurs, right? You could go two routes with this. You could go the dark route, which you are going to, I'm just going to say this. Let me tell you a story, right? That I heard from a great friend of mine that he was trying to explain how human beings are, which is think about electricity, right? The positive and the negative. Human beings goes through that phase every single time, positive and negative. Every single action that you take, there's a positive of you and a negative of you trying to figure out what side you're going to take. Are you going
Yusabel
to?
said it as well too, though. If you want to become a great prophet, effect, and that's how we can tell the future.
True. So imagine this. Every struggle you go, you have two choices. You either take the wrong path to the path that does not lead you to righteousness,
Does not.
or, like I said, you let God be the king, the sovereign king over your life and take you to the positive side, right? And a lot of people get stuck between those two and they do not know what to do. They stay stuck between the positive and the negative. And that's what happens when your motivation runs out, anxiety hits, right? Depression hits. You're not knowing what to do. You're kind of stuck on that limbo mode.
They're
You're
selfish.
selfish.
You're selfish.
And the
You have
one
God
thing
to give
that
it up to, and you don't want to give it up. You want to
true,
keep it. Of course, you're going to be miserable. Of
true.
course, you're going to be sad. This is why you're sad. This is why you're mad.
And the one thing that you need to do to get out of it is read a little bit. And when I say read, read scriptures. Find out for yourselves. It changes your life. Instead of going to the negative side, you're going to go to the positive side.
Instead of watching Hey Arnold.
Hey, Arnold, oh, that was a good show.
It was a good show, man.
That was a good show. Hey, Arnold, that was a good show.
No, but look,
But hold on.
Vinny,
The
go ahead.
point that I'm trying to get at to this is that your struggles that you are right now, everybody goes through something. Choose what is right and meant for you, what is truthful to God always. He will bless you in many ways. Help others, be grateful, achieve that greatness. Everybody wants to be a billionaire. Everybody wants to be a millionaire. Everybody wants to invent something. Use that anger, that sadness, and build something for generations to come.
Remember that one thing that we learned a while back ago? I'm not going to go where we learned it from, but we learned this somewhere. And we know the courts treat people like this, right? If a person that doesn't know his rights has no
Has
rights,
none.
has no rights, meaning a person that doesn't know his verses has no faith. How are you going to
Oh,
ask God for something and you're not going into his book?
true. Oh, that goes the same thing. It's like there are laws in this world that
And
people input
there's laws in the Bible as well.
of the
There's
Bible.
but your constant so I'll give you a nugget. I'll give you a free nugget. Your constitutional rights protect
Your God-given rights.
your God-given rights, your universal law rights.
That is
So
power right there. That is power. He went deep.
we want to look, we didn't just get here to get here. When we went in our journey, um, one second. Uh,
Hold on here. Give me a second here, Ray. We're gonna go to commercials because we are lagging a little bit, guys. So we're gonna go to commercials. Stay
we're
tuned. Yeah, we are lagging here. I'm gonna wait for my internet to clear up a little bit before we come back. Sorry, my friends. Trying to fixing this issue soon. Just give us a little time. We'll be right back. Ready?
okay.
Welcome back, my friends.
I'm gonna give a story.
We got connection. Story time. Story time.
So this story is about the bakery that almost closed. Maria always dreamed of opening her own Brit. This is about a bakery that almost closed. Maria always dreamed of opening her own bakery. She loved baking since childhood. And after saving for years and getting a small business loan, she finally opened her doors in a little corner shop. The first few months were exciting. Lines out the door,
Hmm.
compliments on her bakes and cakes, and the feeling of freedom from being her own boss was amazing. But as time went on, struggles hit hard. A new chain bakery opened down the street, lower prices and aggressive marketing. Her expenses piled up: ingredients, rent, utilities, payroll. Her expenses piled up: ingredients, rent, utilities, and payroll. She worked 14 hours a day, often missing family time, yet still struggled to keep the business afloat. Worst of all, she began to doubt herself. Was she cut out for this? Was she cut out for this? One night, she sat in her bakery after closing, looking at a stick of unpiled bills, ready to give up. She was just ready to give up. She was done with all this. Everything went wrong. Everything was going so good and then went wrong. But then a customer knocked on her door. It was a young boy with his mom. He wanted one of her special chocolate croissants. His mom said, he insisted yours are the best. We've tried others, but yours tastes like love. That moment reminded Maria why she started, not just to sell bread, but to create something meaningful. She decided to fight for her business, but with smarter strategies. She leaned into her unique story of quality, branding her shop on her most profitable items. She cut unnecessary expenses, negotiated with suppliers, and focused on her most profitable items. What a brilliant idea! What a brilliant idea, right? She started using social media, showing behind the scenes of her baking, which drew in loyal online followings, right? It wasn't easy. And it took months, but slowly her sales went parabolic. They grew. The bakery didn't just survive, it became a staple in the community. The lesson, right? What is the lesson? Business struggles are universal. Competition builds exhaustion, self doubt. But what makes the difference? Remembering your why when the going gets tough, adopting and pivoting instead of giving up, focusing on the unique value you bring that others can't replicate.
Nice, good story, brother. That is a inspirational story for anybody who thinks that they cannot succeed and make it in life. Beautiful, beautiful story about Ray. What Ray just said. Beautiful story.
Of Ray's Bakery.
There is no idea too little or too big that once you put your mindset to it, you can achieve it. That is beautiful moral of the story. Fight the battles within you. Keep on pushing forward, and you will succeed. Business is like a roller coaster, bunch of turns, twists, ups and downs, but at the end, you will reach your finish line. As long as you still remain in your seat,
Don't give
now
up.
don't give up,
Don't
keep
give
on
up.
going.
Because if you give up, there's somebody else that won't give up. They will keep going and reach that other stage. But what are you going to do when you give up? Are you going to
What?
help someone else's dreams? Are you going to give your energy, your fruits, your labor to somebody else when you could have kept going, when you could have seen the light at the end of the tunnel,
No,
when
no,
you could have
no.
kept going, when you could have seen the light at the end of the tunnel?
A
What
lot
are
of
you going to
people give up right at
do?
that time.
And when it could have went great for you, when you could have had an idea, anything could change.
Anything could change.
Anything could change.
Just like a dream and a seed, it grows. Ooh,
Just as just as how it started good and it changed to going bad, it can go great again. Nothing in life is permanent. Nothing in life
nothing.
is permanent. Jim Rohn said it the best. The seasons come, and the seasons will come and they will go. They're not permanent. Just because you have fall, they come winter. Now you have spring and now you have summer.
True.
When do you crop? You crop in the spring. And
And
you grow your fruits in the summer.
true.
Just because the winter hit doesn't mean that's where you give up.
Yeah, agreed. There's going to be a hailstorm or a fire or something that's going to happen. It just happens. It's
It just
just
happens.
life.
Just like
That does
Job.
that doesn't mean that you're unlucky. It just happens.
Just like Job. I just want you to look at it just like Job. Everything was going great. Just like the
Everything.
bakery, everything was going great. I made dinner. My wife was here. My children were here. My Ferrari was here. And now it's all taken away. But because you already got it done, means you can do it again.
True. That is a powerful lesson that when something happens to you, you have to learn from your mistakes. Now, if you don't learn, you don't grow.
If you don't learn, you don't grow. If you don't learn, you don't grow.
A lot of people, once they stop, right, once they finish their high school or once they finish college or whatever their trade is, they stop. They
They
stop.
stop.
They're in limbo. They stop. They stop learning. They think they're already enough. You are not. There's always something you can learn. There's always something more you can do and achieve. Human beings are the only species of animals in the planet that can be controlled. Why are you going to let yourself just be crumbled down and not achieve your dreams and goals? How far would you go if you knew you could not fail? How far?
Act as if you would not fail and you will receive all. What is it you're going to do? What is it that you want? Do you really say, do you really want what you say you want? Because if you really do, the universe is going to test you. It's not just going to give it to you. It doesn't work that way. The universe listens to everything, your insecurities, your body language, how you respond to people. It feeds off that energy that you give, and it knows when you really want it, when you're going to go after it.
True, true.
Would you rather live 50 years of adventure or 100 years in the corner? 50 years of adventure or 100 years in the corner, in the corner, in the corner.
And the corner.
We need, look, there's optimism and there's pessimism. Are you going to look out the sunset out the window, or are you going to be pessimistic and look at the specks on the window? right?
Agreed.
What is it that you want?
What do you want?
The glass is
What do
half
you want?
empty, or is the glass half full? Be careful on what you feed your mind. Even your friends can give you strychnine.
True. Remember,
Jim Rohn said it.
whoever controls your mind controls your time. And whoever controls your time controls your life. Just remember that.
There was a story Jim Rohn once said. He said, the story of the strychnine. He said, what if your enemy gives you the strychnine?
The
You
what?
die. Strychnine. I think it's like a bomb. Let me see.
I'm like strychnine. What?
Yeah, strychnine. It's poisoning.
Oh, a cyanide, you mean?
Strychnine. Yeah, strychnine.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
I knew I was saying it right. You had me questioning for a second. So yeah, what if your friend gives you the strychnine? Not your friend. What if your enemy gives you the strychnine? You're gonna die. What if your friend gives you coffee? You'll be all right. But what if your friend gives you the strychnine? Then you'll be dead,
You
right?
don't know.
If that happens, right? Be careful where you get your coffee. Be careful who feeds you the bad stuff. Because even your friend can feed you the bad stuff.
Oh, yeah.
But you need to be careful on who feeds your mind and what you're feeding your mind. If you're watching news all day, you're watching the chaos that happens in the world, that's what you're feeding your mind. Of course, you're going to be sad. There's always going to be something to look forward to. There's always going to be something to be mad about. There's always going to be an event for you. The reason why I didn't make it was because Joe Biden or Donald Trump was president. But there's people making it every day.
There is. There is.
There's
It's
people making it
it's
every
an
day.
excuse. It's an excuse. It's
What are
an
you
excuse that
creating?
people make.
What are you creating? And is it what you're creating serving you or hurting you?
What?
Right? What is it that you're creating? Is it serving you or hurting you? Because through language, you get to create the universe around you.
True.
Through your own perspective, you're creating the reality that you want. And a lot of you would rather be right about being miserable than having the life that you actually deserve.
Yeah. They rather go down in their grave and not actually say they're wrong. That's what's happening nowadays. I will die with my life. You don't want to do that? No, 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 no. Not good for you.
Not good for you at all.
No.
What you gonna do at night when everything goes wrong? What are you gonna do when that bakery almost goes to bankruptcy? What are you gonna do? Are you gonna give up? Or are you going to keep going and make
True.
adjustments? What is it? What are your priorities? The universe will test you. I would advise you to look at the Kabbalion and the principles of the Hermetic laws because all these religions derive from the Hermetic laws. You do not escape the Hermetic laws, the
Now,
law of vibration, mentalism.
where can people find out more of these things, right? Where can they search a little bit more of these things? Isn't there a website that they could go to and kind of like, is
Well,
it is
there's the Bible, there's Google, there's YouTube. If you want to look for it, it's there. The same way it's easy for you to get on TikTok, and the same way it's easy for you to watch TV and watch Hey Arnold. The same way you're looking for these things, if you're looking for these answers, it will Show up.
It will show up.
But you
Now,
have to show up.
we have compiled a couple of PDFs, documents, a lot of good, exceptional stuff in
At
our members page
vermilionvitez.com.
at vermilionvitez.com. Yes, there's a little website where you could go where we could show you a lot of great things about spirituality, about the principles of life. It's a lot of great knowledge, business and faith mixed together. That's a powerful combination that we would all strive for. So if you guys hop over to vermilionvitest.com, check out our content. If you sign up with us, you'll receive a free PDF on how to build your business trust. How to build your business trust. Okay? Gives you the pros and the cons and how amazing it will be for you to leave a legacy behind for you and your family and protect your assets from levy. Check out vermilionvitest.com, my friends. And from the bottom of our heart, thank you. Thank you, Raymundo, for
Thank
being
you.
here with me. I always appreciate you. Great friend, great coach, great preacher. Today, this guy preached. Thank you, guys. Stay blessed by the best.